Well, good morning, Community Church. It is early Friday morning. We are live from the pumpkin patch before we open. I promised you last week I would try to do something from the patch, so here we are. The big news of the day is that the next pumpkin delivery truck is coming tomorrow, Saturday, October 16th at 8 a.m. and the truck is on time. So far, so good. So that is wonderful. We're excited. Any and all help is welcome. So you, your family, your friends, your neighbors, your handyman, somebody that you don't even know, say, hey, do you want to come help us unload pumpkins? The whole community is welcome, and we are excited. The pallets are looking a little bare. They're definitely in need of a refill. The patch has been busy, which has been good. And we still could use plenty of volunteers. So if I see you on Sunday morning, I have some holes to fill. If you're able to volunteer for a shift at the patch, it's very simple. It's really not that hard to check out customers on the pumpkin patch. And myself or one of our experienced volunteers would be really happy to help show you how to do it. So as I was thinking about a devotion to share, I've been spending a lot of time in the pumpkin patch, and we often have people say, why does the church celebrate Halloween? And that is not, anybody who's been here for a long time will know that this pumpkin patch does not promote Halloween. We promote fall harvest and blessings. Obviously, we know that lots of people are celebrating Halloween and will take their pumpkins home and do what they will with them, and that's fine. But when we're in the patch, we're loving on people, encouraging people, talking to them, spending time with their family, taking pictures of their family. We have families that come every single year to this patch and take pictures, and you see the kids grow up into adults that bring their own kids, and what a cool blessing. What a great experience we have. But it got me thinking a little bit more deeply about things like good and evil, angels and demons. Did you ever read that book? Such a good book. Not true at all. Not biblically true, but really good literature to read. Anyway, so a lot of times this time of year when Halloween things start to pop up, some Christians get very worried and scared about some of the scarier, creepier, haunty things that come out with Halloween. But when we read scripture, I want to point out a couple of things, make you just think a little deeply today. When the devil appears to people in scripture, he's not scary. He is tempting. He is alluring. When the serpent shows up in the garden and starts talking to Eve, now y'all, seriously, if a serpent showed up, let alone a talking one, I would not stick around long enough to see what it had to offer, okay? That's just me. But when the serpent appeared to Eve, he didn't scare her. She wasn't afraid. He tempted her. When he showed her the fruit from the tree of life, he said, oh, this is good for you. It's wonderful. It's pleasing. I'll actually read you a verse. It's from Genesis 3, verse 6. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate it, and she also gave some to her husband who was with her. When the devil shows up to tempt us, a lot of times it's not scary and creepy. Now, that is possible, and that does happen. Obviously, the devil is evil, and we don't want to have any part of that. But most of the time, what he's tempting you with, sin, is very attractive. It's alluring. It looks like it's a good idea. That's part of our human sinful nature. Sin is tempting. It looks like it's something that we want, and we wouldn't be tempted by it if it wasn't. Here's an idea. The exact opposite happens when angels appear to people. When the angel appears to Mary and announces the birth of Jesus, anytime an angel appears in scripture, they're terrifying. The presence of an angel that is massive and large and holy. You are in the presence of a perfectly created, holy being. People are terrified, and the very first thing that the angel says is, don't be afraid. So, I just wanted to point this out a little bit because it goes kind of against the grain, right? We like to think, especially around Halloween, ooh, goblins and ghouls are scary and fearful and creepy, and they are. But as Christians, we have nothing to fear from the devil. We have nothing to fear about any kind of sin or temptation that he sends our way, because Jesus has overcome the devil. Jesus has overcome sin, and through him we can overcome any temptation that is thrown our way. But I just wanted to point out a little bit that to be aware as Christians that sin and temptation and the way that the devil wants to trip you up is not always obvious. It's not always scary and creepy, and we should stay away from that. A lot of times sin is very interesting and attractive, and I want to learn more about that. I want to find out about that. That looks like a good idea. Let's try that. It's part of our human nature, unfortunately. But Jesus says, take heart. He has overcome the world. He's overcome sin and temptation. I wanted to point out the scariness of being in the presence of God or an angel, because I know it's loud out here. I'm sorry, all the cars passing by, but I kind of want to finish on this point that the Old Testament particularly talks a lot about the fear of God. And sometimes Christians miss that part because we're like, we have Jesus and we love Jesus and he's a loving, personable, relational God, and he is, and that's wonderful. But if you think deeply about it, to be in the presence of God, who is perfect, who is the creator of everything, who is holy, to be in the presence of his messengers like angels that are also perfect, they're without sin or without blemish, they are holy because they serve him day and night. That is awe-inspiring. That is terrifying because it reminds us that we are a sinful human, that we are nothing compared to that holiness. And the only thing that can bridge that gap and bring us into the presence of God and not be afraid of him is Jesus. The gift that Jesus gave us is that we are not just sinful human beings anymore, but our belief in him is that we're adopted into the family of God as children. So as children of God, we have nothing to be afraid of. But as just a poor, lowly, sinful human, there's something a little bit scary about being in the presence of something holy. I think it's good for us to be reminded of that sometimes and be reminded that we're really nothing without Jesus, and we really can't do anything without him. That on this earth we have nothing to be afraid of. No evil, no sin, nothing can really harm us because Jesus has overcome that. But in order to be in the presence of a holy God, we have to be holy, and the only way that we can do that is through Jesus. I hope that gave you something to think about today. I know it's kind of odd to think about the devil tempting people isn't really that scary. A lot of times he likes to use things that look good to you and that you like, and that being in the presence of angels is actually what's very scary. But just a little perspective from some stories. I look forward to seeing you guys more in the pumpkin patch. Please, anybody that wants to come help unload, you are welcome to come tomorrow, Saturday, October 16th at 8 a.m. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.